Okay, good evening. So first and foremost, appreciate you guys jumping on tonight as opposed to last night. However, what I want to do moving forward is change the call to Monday nights as opposed to Sunday nights. And the reason that I want to do that is for a few different reasons, basically. Firstly, it means that you are then only committed to 2 nights a week. So the opportunity call on a Monday, then this call, so both on the same day, and then the team training call on a Thursday, which means then you've got the rest of the week to do whatever you need to do, whether it's family time or clubs or prospecting or whatever. So we'll stick to Monday at 9 o'clock. Moving forward. Next week, I'm not going to be on because I'm not here. However, if you guys want to get on and work, get on and work. If you want to use my link, then by all means you can do. I know Sean's got the details, I think. But if not, or Fiona's got the details. So if you still want to get on next week at 9 o'clock and talk between yourselves and plan and do brainstorming within you guys, what's working, what's not, how many times that you prospected, whatever, then by all means jump on. And then I'll be back the following Monday. So, I'd hope that some of you, if not most of you, would still get on next week, just to, again, accountability and whatever else. I'll be getting on the team calls while I'm away on a Thursday, but not on the Monday ones. And the other reason why I wanted to change it to a Monday, and I guess it's probably like the most important one, is that I want to try and create like a culture in the UK where we use Sundays as a day like off. And I know, like, some of you are probably thinking, "Oh my God, you can't take a day off." And if Nina or Austin or PJ or whoever told me, heard me saying that, they'll probably shoot me. But what I don't want to do is, and I spoke to, I think it was Helen earlier, what I don't want you guys to do is, if you're working in a full-time job and it gets to Friday afternoon and you've had like a week from hell, or you're tired or you're run down or whatever, then you feel that you've then got to work Friday night, and then you've got to work on Saturday, and then you've got to work on Sunday, and then by the time Monday comes, you're absolutely shattered and you're not ready to go. So what I want to do, and it's going to take a little bit of time because I still work on Sundays, but I want you guys to take some time out. I don't want you running yourselves into the ground. I don't want you thinking that you have to do this 24 hours a day, because like Sundays for a lot of people is a day off. It is a chance to see family, or to see the kids, or to go out, or do whatever. If you're someone that does like working Sundays, then continue to do that. But what I want to try and do, as I said, is try and create a culture where Sundays is a day where you can get out and do what you want. And I don't want you guys thinking that you can't enjoy your Sunday, or you can't go and have a drink, or you can't go out because you've got to be tied down to a call at 9 o'clock on a Sunday night. So that's what I want to do moving forward. As I said, we'll look at changing the call from a Sunday to a Monday moving forward. So just to reiterate that again, next Monday, Fiona's got my password to this platform. So get on at 9 o'clock if you want to get on, and then we'll go for it. So we'll go round the group just very quickly, because I know last week it took quite a long time. So even if for those of you that are on last week, we mentioned about like the point system, and for me personally, it's been absolutely superb this week. So even if you just want to talk about how many points you've accrued, or just a quick one about what's gone on. And I know, Michael, you've got bits and pieces to do in 20 minutes. So we'll go straight over to you, mate.
Yeah, no problem. No pictures, just sound, hopefully.
Yeah.
Been doing a lot of work on LinkedIn, bit of a blanket email on LinkedIn, whereby I've been contacting all my contacts with the letter that you put on the handout, on the messenger page that you sent.
Okay.
So I've been doing a lot of work on LinkedIn, bit of Blanket, and Shaper as well, trying to create conversations. But those people that were old, I've just done a bit of a blanket email. I think I'm counting the points wrong, and it's a bit embarrassing because I've got 320 points so far, and I've got no customers, so I must be doing something wrong. So I've got to work on my technique.
Jesus, that's good.
Well, yeah, it's good, but again, it's a bit blanket sometimes because I started full-time work last Tuesday as well.
How's that going?
No comment. No comment.
Cool.
Facebook, I'm contacting slowly but surely, but mostly the people that have responded to my wine posts, I've been contacting them. And I've started working finally on my friends and family list, and the list of 55 names that we drew up 2 weeks ago. I've started working through that. I was going to have a girl on the call tonight at 8:30, but her dad wasn't very well, so she promises she'll come back on the call next Monday at 8:30 instead.
Okay, brilliant. Excellent. Right, who wants to go next? Fiona, go for it.
Sorry, trying to unmute myself there. Yeah, I had a really good week. The points thing is working really well. I think the lowest was actually yesterday. I only did 3, but up to that I've done sort of 30, between 25 and 30 a day. So loving that. It's just making me sort of make sure I'm, I am contacting people and building those relationships.
Yeah.
Had a meeting last week with someone who owns a chocolate shop with a view to doing a joint event with her. Probably going to be something later on in the year, but that looks quite promising. Following the training, I reached out to family, and I've got someone who's going to have an event with some friends at their house. Really been working Instagram and using Shaper every day. So yeah, just focusing on building all the relationships and working through the numbers.
Superb stuff. Good. Right, next. Who wants to go next? Denny, go for it.
Apart from obviously the funeral days, etc. So I'm a bit slack on those. But I've been reconnecting with 10 people a day. I've been following up with at least 5 of them. And I like that with the point system because obviously you get so many more. And that pleases me. I've been posting in the new market groups that I've joined, Australia, Germany, etc. Different groups. And following up where I've done my post like Anthony told me to. I'm adding 20 people a day on Instagram, and I'm trying to add about 10 people a day on Facebook because obviously it's a bit more difficult. You can't just add them and they go, do I know you, and blah blah blah, and they're funny, so it's a bit more difficult. And Shaper, I've been following that as well, going on and connecting with people and sending messages. I've also this week gone back through the 5 steps and been familiarising myself with the direct sellers website. But I'm loving the point system. It's just a way of knowing what you're doing. And I've also been really good with doing what I've not done before, organising myself and putting things straight in the diary and, what we talked about, keep better records for following up, etc. So, yeah.
Perfect. Good stuff. Good. Right, who's going next? Sean, go for it.
Cool. Okay, thank you. So yeah, it started out as a pretty crap week. I was Debbie Downer, but after a kick up the backside from Fiona and some thank you and some help and advice, finished on a high, averaged probably between 15 and 30, 40 odd points every day. That's a lot of that's been on Instagram, building up a following, which has been really cool. And today, in my job, had a chat with one of my colleagues who I was just introducing myself to, and she'd already heard that I had a wine business. So I've just sent her some information and going to follow up with her tomorrow. And I basically said, if you can't come, I've got wine events starting next week. So I said, if you can't come to them, I'll just come around to yours, get some friends around, and we'll do some wine. So from our conversation, Paul, that's starting to evolve at work. So that's really cool. And I think that's it. So it's finished on a high, definitely. Feeling far more positive. Love the point system.
Perfect. Good. Right, next up, let's keep going. Who wants to go? Or I'll pick on someone. Alina, go for it.
Okay, so I've been working on my contact list here and in Canada, because a lot of my contacts are in Canada. So this evening I was on the Canadian wine call with Kevin, just to get an update on the market. And it looks like June is going to be sort of when they're hoping to launch, depending on all the legal issues. So into the Canadian market. I've actually been invited to a Canadian trade wine event on Thursday at the Canadian Embassy. So I'm going there with a friend, and there's going to be different wineries there. So I'm going to work on that. And I'm also attending the London Wine Trade event next Tuesday. I was looking into exhibit, but it's quite expensive at the moment. So I just thought I'd go down and see if there was some contacts. I met them at the launch party. So I'd go there and see what sort of opportunities there are. I've been working on my LinkedIn account to update and add things, and also looking into getting business cards printed. I'm looking at doing an event, and I think someone in the group does quite a few sort of trade shows and different stands. So where I do my wine socials, there's a Yachtden Fete on May bank holiday weekend, the 28th. So I've booked a table there, and I was going to have some brochures and have a stall there to see, and then invite people to the wine social, because it's at the pub just around the corner. So that's what I've been up to this week.
That's good. So a lot going on for you as well.
Yeah.
Right. Next up. Who wants to go next? Carl Brady, go for it.
Didn't realise I was muted. Give me 2 seconds. And now I make an appearance. There we go. I was kind of waving my hands and everything else saying I'll go next. I've done it with the past couple ones, not realising the video was off. Just wearing a blank screen, typical. Yeah, it's not been too bad a week. I've not been consistent with the point system. I think I've done well on the points, but it just keeps forgetting to do it. It just comes with a bit of momentum. So I sent out info to 5 people yesterday. Been focusing on continuing with my Facebook page. I mean, doing well with over 3,400 likes, but it's just consistency. But also in terms of studying attraction marketing, so that's kind of my thing at the moment, and how to kind of promote and convert to the masses. So I've had a few conversions already. I think from the conversations I've had, pardon the kind of expression, but people have said actually one thing we don't like is people being spammy dicks. They said the same messages, kind of same themed. People are so wise to go pro stuff now, don't worry. It's ridiculous. If I would use probably one of the most overused phrases, and everyone's kind of cottoned onto it. And it's not one I've used for a long time, but the kind of very first thing they're saying is it this, is it that? So, but they are peeled by the kind of the wine socials and everything else, and what I'm actually focusing on. So I'm really pleased about that. I'm hoping I'm going to have another 2 or 3 socials for this month, possibly a few more. I'm just waiting to hear back a couple on dates. But I'm definitely leading with the people buying first. I think I've managed to convert one of the original blokes who wanted to be just order a case to a customer. And I discussed that with you as well. And I think one thing I've learned this week is I definitely need to have a plan. A real detailed plan, because I think whilst I've got a general idea of where I want to go, I've actually started laying out kind of the actual groundwork now and next steps and how I want to do it. And I think as I had a conversation with you the other week, I think I've realised I've been too, not necessarily hard on myself, but too critical. And I've stopped, it's taking the enjoyment out of the process. Where I was really enjoying myself, now it's kind of becoming, it's not in any way a chore, but I'm becoming kind of stressed by it because I'm putting too much pressure on myself.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Right. Nearly done. Lindsay, go for it. Hey up.
I decided to do what I previously did with other companies and ask them to help, different people to help me. And 2 friends have said yes to parties, dates to be confirmed. One's actually on a barge. But the good thing about that friend is that she's an author and has quite a following on various sites. And I know we did discuss it, Paul. but she has sort of shared some information that I'd sent her on various. So I've had a couple of hits from that which I hadn't told you about. So really just sort of going back to sort of some basics I used to do, which is sort of share more what you're wanting to do and just get people to help you. And done a one-to-one the other day with the wine as well.
Perfect. Okay, Mr. Ben Foster.
I've just been sort of going through my LinkedIn, changing that up a little bit, going through all the documentation that you sent about updating your LinkedIn. I had one Zoom call with someone who was interested in being a customer today. I've got another one, I think, Friday. I have to double check that, but doing my personal development stuff like that. I ain't really touched Instagram, which I probably should a little bit more. But sort of just people kind of starting to reach out to me a little bit on my LinkedIn and stuff like that. So I've just been chasing that up and sending out, I think, spend about an hour in the morning every day just sort of updating. They say if people have talked to me and stuff like that, I've just gone out and replied to them or sent them information and tried to get into the next sort of step of having like a phone call or something like that.
Perfect. Good stuff. Nice. Right, we're getting through this. Shirley, go for it.
Okay. So this week we've got our VIP, one of our new VIP customers that's going to have a social. Still working on some new groups with LinkedIn, making conversation, not really just opening conversation, not really promoting the business because we don't want to be spammy, as we've said. Really liking the points system. Just working through the stuff each day. I've got some good conversations going on with Shaper this week. It was a bit quiet for me last week, but there's a couple of 2 or 3 hits on that one. And Andrew's not on the call tonight because he's away on business, but he's sent some information out to about 3 people, I think, at the moment as well. So it's just, we're just trying to be consistent with doing the stuff regularly and personal development. And I think that's it for me this week.
Beautiful. Good. Becky Mitchell.
Hello.
Hello.
Right, yeah, I mean, a lot of my stuff's generally on LinkedIn and making connections because that's what I'm sort of getting myself into a routine with. Oh, sorry, you can't see me, can you? Hang on a minute. There you go. I've been doing the ironing, so apologies. And just got back from boot camp. 50 new connections, 17 invites to have a look at information, 2 proper interactions where it's been conversation, to-ing and fro-ing, and looking at the information. And I've got 1 call booked in on Friday. So I reckon about 94 points.
Superb stuff. Right, Anthony, do you want to talk about your social on Saturday?
Yeah, can do, mate. Yeah, just a little bit of what I've been up to this week. 56 new connections on Facebook. Getting into conversations just naturally, like they've been saying there, not being spammy, just being normal person. So that's going. I've got some nice conversations going through Shape, and now they're starting to come through thick and fast. At the beginning, it was a bit slow, but they're really starting to come in now. I think there must be some sort of algorithm on that because the longer I've been in it, I'm getting more every day now, and which is good. I did actually get Paul Gillingham actually come up yesterday, so I swiped right. I did swipe right. So so Saturday night, the social was a great success. We had 16 people there, good atmosphere. Got them into teams and did a point system of guessing the great new world, old world, what the DC pairing was. We did 5 questions, which I'll put in group, and it worked really well. It got a good interaction going with different people. I've got the 4 follow-ups to do with tomorrow, 4 couples, which are all very, very interested after the conversation we had on Saturday evening. And yeah, I've got another one booked in there in 2 weeks' time on a Friday. So I've got another one at end of the month with Dale, who's already VIP customer. So I've got another 2 more to look forward to this month. The connections, to be honest with you, quite a few people's gone into sort of like witness protection this week. I'm not getting much feedback back, so they've gone into my follow-up for another 3 days' time. I keep writing everything down. Follow my diary every single day. And, just going back to Saturday, Paul, great success. Obviously, you were there as well, so you might want to touch on 1 or 2 things as well for socials. But other than that, mate, just doing my daily things. And I'm saying with you with that, Carl, that if I would you sort of thing, to me, like you say, it's too gone now, to be honest with you. I think there's a new breed out there now, and I think we're all learning a lot every day now. So, okay, Paul.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, so one thing that we done on Saturday is that we had, I think we put them into 4. There was 4 teams, and they had to guess the, what did they have to get? They had to guess the grape, guess the country, guess the perfect pairing, guess what it smelled like on the card, and New World versus Old World. So we had a giggle doing it. We had quite a laugh doing it, and it was a big success. So yeah, it was good. I just want to touch base on this point system because I think it's absolutely like genius. I really, really do think it's so good. And the guy that done the call, James, I can't even remember his surname, from Australia. I know some of you were on it, but James is actually going to be one of our guest speakers in the month of June. So I'm looking forward to him getting on because for me, he's one of the best network marketing coaches that I've ever come across. He's very, very down to earth, very relaxed, and I'm fairly confident that you guys are going to really like how he presents. And he's actually over in the UK, I think, in August or September time. So I'm hoping to try and meet up with him. And if any of you guys want to get involved with that, then make sure you're on the call in June, and we can sort that one out. So how the point system can just grow massively is the follow-up. And Tuesday, I worked it out. Tuesday alone, I got 115 points. And that was from doing like my shaper connections in the morning, but then going back from Friday, Saturday, Sunday and just following up. And it was just, by the time that you add it up, it's unbelievable. And even if if you reach out to someone in the morning, they come back to you, you have a conversation, you ask them if you can send something over, and then you actually do send something over, that's 6 points with one person. So if we can all collectively start using this point system on a daily basis, it's going to force a habit. And I've spoken to a few of you about like forcing habits, and getting up, brushing your teeth is a habit. Going to the toilet is a habit. All your like day-to-day stuff, going to work is a habit. We need to start using this point system as a habit now. James Yates, thanks, Denny. So it's a very, very powerful system that he's got, that he's used for many, many years. So keep doing that, 100% keep doing that. With regards to, you could work full-time on social media. There's so many different social media platforms out there now, and you just get lost. So what you can, do it the way that you want to do it the way that works for you. But what you could do is work on a particular social media platform on a certain day. Or you could have a little rota, depending on like how many hours or what your time is. You could do a platform in the morning and a different platform in the evening. Or you could, and I spoke to Sean in the week, and Sean was doing stuff on her lunch break, and I said to her, pick a platform every lunchtime and just blast it. Get back to people, send out new connections, do your shaper stuff at lunchtime, but use that lunch break, half an hour, 45 minutes, however long it is, but use it productively. And again, speaking to someone today, I know this is going to be mentally, this is going to be a tough 90 days. I know that because it's tough for me as well. But if you get to a stage where you feel tired, switch off. I mean that. If you get to a stage where you're struggling, where you're losing the will to live, where you're feeling in a bad place, where you're losing the motivation, where you just feel down, close off, switch off, send me a message if you need to, and just say, look, if you've got 5 minutes, can I have a talk? Like, I do not mind. But the worst thing that you can do is close off and just kind of go AWOL. So, know that I'm here, know that Raz is here as well, especially like as I'm going away tomorrow. Any calls, please contact Raz. My phone is going to be diverted to Raz. That's not really, but use us. Becky's here as well. If you need some advice, use us. Like, we want to get you guys to where we are, but in order for us to do that, we need you functioning. We need you like firing on all cylinders. And so, like, another conversation I had with someone today was that this particular person was finding it tough. They was struggling to know what to do, and the head felt like exploding, and they had all these different ideas, and they had to do all these things, and they had to send messages and emails and phone calls and And I said to them, right, what you want to try and do, because this particular person's got a little bit more time than most of you, but I said to this particular person, right, how about just doing a little bit, like an hour to an hour and a half in the morning, and an hour to an hour and a half in the afternoon, and then an hour to 2 hours in the evening. Then that way, that you're only working really for anywhere between like 3 to 6 hours a day, depending on what you've got. Now, if you're getting up at 7 o'clock in the morning and you're not going to bed until 11 o'clock at night, that's like 16 hours. You can't work for 16 hours a day. You literally can't do it. So, but it's how productive you are in the time that you've got. So I know when I used to work downstairs and I used to have the laptop on my lap, or I was sitting on the floor with the laptop on my lap and my legs crossed, my concentration would go so much quicker because like I just wasn't comfortable. Or, if the telly was on, it's easy to get distracted. That's what I'm trying to say. So what I'd done, or what Tara done while I was away one weekend, is turn like this room that I'm in now, that was kind of like our dumping ground, really. It was where all like our old clothes were. It was where like everything was. So we've emptied that out, and now this is an office. So I know now, once that door's closed, like I've got no distractions. Like there's no radio, there's no telly, and I can work. And what I'd done was pretty much that. Like for 2 hours, I'll work solidly. I'll get back to everyone that sent me a message on Shaper. I'll get back to everyone that I need to send an email out to. I'll get back to everyone that's messaged me on Facebook. I'll get back to anyone that sent me a text message or sent me a call or, done whatever. But what I found was by being in that kind of right environment, you can get so much more done. And so what you'll probably find that if that's where you are at times, where you've got your husband or your wife or boyfriend or girlfriend or kids or whatever that are there, take yourself off for an hour and just say, look, give me an hour and I'll be back. Give me an hour and I'll spend like a couple of hours with you before for whatever. And what you'll find is that you can get so much done in 60 minutes, so much done in 2 hours. And like yesterday, like coming back from football, I had 15 messages on Shaper. So again, I knew that I had a three-hour journey from Newcastle back to London, and I had no distractions. Anytime I get on the train, I make sure that I sit literally the first seat in on my own, so no one's sitting opposite me or no one's sitting next to me. So I use that time to either like read or get back to people. And again, like I do find that I get so much done in such a short space of time. So if you're struggling at the moment to get stuff done, or you feel under pressure to get stuff done, like just reevaluate like what you're doing. Like reevaluate like the times that you're working, reevaluate like how much time that you're spending, and like how productive your time is as well. Because again, it's very easy to get caught up in a text message conversation with just a mate about like crap. And it's if that happens to me now, I'll leave it and I'll reply when I've done what I needed to do, because for me this is so important. Like, and I said this on day one, this group of people is my priority within Direct Sellers now. Yes, I know that I need to go out and continue to build my own business, but this group of people is the group of people that have stood up and said, I'm ready. You know, I want this to happen. I'm at a stage in my life now where I've got a little bit of time, or I've got that motivation, or I'm in the right frame of mind, and I want to step up and I want to take full control of my business, and I want to become a master seller. So, you know, this is for you guys to work on yourselves, to, you know, but self-development, personal development, confidence, posture. And what we're going to, like, when I get back, especially, like, we are going to, like, spend some more time. And I've got so much that I want to share with you. But I mean, as I said, like, going away tomorrow, like, we still haven't packed. It's 25 to 10 and we've still not packed. So tonight is going to be a long night. So going this week, there are obviously not going to be any accountability calls because I'm going to be in the Caribbean. But what I want you guys to do is literally come together, use that group that we've got to bounce off each other, and use the page to come off each other. Don't think that just because, like, I'm not about, you know, nothing can get said or nothing can get put there. Like, my laptop will be coming away with me, my phone will be coming away with me, and I'll check in and out as and when I can. But Raz is there to help and support you. Becky's there to help and support you. But at the end of the day, like, you guys, this is your own businesses. Like, this is now your chance to kind of, like, pick it up and step it up and go crazy with it. So one thing that Anne Ralston said to me and I had an hour with Anne on, when was it? Thursday, I think it was. I had an hour on the phone with Anne. And I know, like, some of you have said bits and pieces tonight, but what Anne said to me, or what she said to the group, first of all, was whenever you're having a conversation with someone, and I guess this probably works better with cold leads than it does with, like, warm market or hot market, but she said always go in with the business opportunity, always go in with posture, with confidence in what you've got in the business opportunity, because if then they turn around and say, you know, I'm not interested in the business opportunity, then you've got the fallback of saying, that's absolutely fine, you know, become a customer, like, become a VIP customer. That means that you don't have to sign up. You're not tied down to anything. You just get your wine sent to your door. You get the benefits of being in the club, Then if they turn around and say, well, you know, I don't really want to become a customer, then you've got the fallback of inviting them to a social, or then you've got a fallback of getting them to host a social for you. So it depends on the conversation that you're having, but she was saying that always go in with the conversation of the business. And that's what I'm doing on Shaper now. And 80% of my activity at the moment is on that site, because it's conversations with people that I don't know. So I don't need to try and, you know, I don't need to try and fluff it up. I don't need to tell them anything that maybe, like, I need to tell my friends that I, you know, trying to persuade people to do it. They look at my site, or they look at the page. Some of them have checked out the website. I've connected with quite a few people on LinkedIn now as well, and they're coming to me, like, they're asking me about the wine club. They're asking me about direct sellers. So it's helping me in quite a big way. And then LinkedIn as well. I probably send between, like, 10 to 15 messages a day on LinkedIn, just asking people, like, how they're doing, how's their weekend going, just starting conversations. Because again, like, LinkedIn is a platform that's more business orientated than it is, like, friends and family. I think I've got, like, nearly 2,000, just over 2,000 connections on LinkedIn, and there's a hell of a lot of people that I've never spoken to on there. Whereas if I go through my Facebook, like, groups, like, I know, like, a lot of the people that are on there, whether they're from, like, school or football or other previous companies, or that just live, like, out and about, or, you know, people that I've just connected with. And so LinkedIn is a good one. I know, Ben, you mentioned about Instagram. Yes, it is, but it's not, you know, you don't have to do it. You can still make a business off of the platforms that you've got. However, it's just an additional platform that you can use. So I know that Stoya uses Instagram, like, really well lately, and she found a particular site on there, and I think they had, like, 13,000 followers. And all she done, I think I mentioned this on last week's call, but all she done, like, was just literally follow like loads of people that this guy, had following him, and I think she followers grew by about 800 in a week. So now she's got a big audience. She's got over 1,000 people on her page. But I mean, at the end of the day, do what works for you. Don't change who you are as a person. If you're someone that prefers being out there and prefers like belly to belly talking to someone, carry on doing it. You know, it's just like on the flip side, if you're someone that is a fan of like online marketing as such and likes the online stuff more than going out there, then, you know, do it. Yes, you know, I know we all need to work on our weaknesses, but continue to work on your strengths as well, because it's going to get there. And this really is a numbers game. I had a fantastic 3-way call this morning with one of Helen's connections, and we was on the phone for about 45 minutes, which is way too long for a 3-way call, but it was a great call. And I love doing 3-way calls. Like, I really, really do. And I know like it's probably bad timing now going away tomorrow, but when I get back, get me on as many 3-way calls as you possibly can. Like, I don't care who the conversation is with or what it's regarding, even if it's with a customer, because it's all about edification. It's all about hearing that different voice, because sometimes like you could be speaking to someone and you end up going backwards and forwards, and like your motivation or your energy level just gets drained, and you feel like just banging your head against a brick wall. So in my previous company, like my first company that I got involved with, I think I brought 46 people in, like personally, into the business. Every single one of them got on a 3-way call with my upline, like every single one of them. And it just helps like so much. And if this week you've got people that want to get on calls, use Raz, use like Becky, use like anyone. Like all you guys now are capable of getting on a 3-way call, because I know all of you have grown in like the short time that we've been involved with this. Like some of you have never spoken on Zoom. Like some of you have never got on Zoom. Some of you have never cold prospected people. Some of you have never phoned people, so everyone is progressing along their journey. And I'm not like a public speaker, a professional speaker, like anything like that. Trust me, if you put me in a room and you get me to speak about something that I'm not confident with, I will literally just go like I'm not confident at all with something that I'm not passionate about. But get me to speak about something that I am passionate about, and I can talk about it all day long. So I want you guys to this week just literally just keep doing what you're doing, but do a little bit more, because as I said, like I think it's day 15 now. So for those of you that have got Wine Socials booked in, great. And if you haven't, like try and get a social booked in. And it doesn't need to be anywhere other than your front room, and it doesn't need to be for any more than like 5 people. And again, one of the things that Anne said to me on the phone the other day is that these wine socials should be for a maximum of 5 people in your front room. That's it. Get people round and get them to sample the product that we've got, because we know the product's good. So that's one bit of advice I would kind of get you guys to look at doing this week. And it doesn't have to be in your house. It could be in a neighbour's house. It could be in a friend's house. It could be in a colleague's house. And just take like a few bottles of wine around there and just speak to them about the club, like promote the club. So yeah, I mean, I haven't really got too much more tonight. I just wanted to, like, first of all, I wanted to get on tonight because I was like cautious that we moved the call from last night to tonight, and I'm very cautious that I'm not going to be around. But I will be available, like, to check in with you guys. So if you want me to look over anything, or if you're unsure about anything, then again, like, please don't think that just because I'm away, like, you can't talk to me or you can't mess. My phone will be with me, my laptop will be with me. If I can't get back to you straight away, I will get back to you eventually. And if you need someone straight away, then speak to Raz, basically, because this is what we're here for. We're here, like, to help you guys grow. So I mean, moving forward, like this week, continue to use that point system, like every day, like literally every day. What I was doing this week is, if I was messaging someone, it would go straight in the book. If I had a phone call, it would go straight in the book. If I sent a text message, it would go straight in the book. And I literally done it for every single person. Another thing that I wanted to quickly talk about, and I've done a live video last week, and it goes back to where you can get lost in what you're doing. So what you could do is like use the hashtags and whatever else on particular days. So on a Monday, for example, use Monday as like your motivating Monday to get out there and make as many conversations as you possibly can, and to prospect and just start the official working week off as strongly as you possibly can. And then what was I can't remember what Tuesday was. But you've got like Wine Wednesday or Thirsty Thursday. So they could be the dates that you schedule in a wine social on a Wednesday or a Thursday. And then Friday could be your follow-up day. So on a Friday, in your lunch break or in the evening or in the morning or whenever you've got like spare time, you could use Fridays to literally follow up with every single person that you've spoken to that week. So if you're using that point system and you're using Friday as your follow-up day, it's just going to be 4s. And that number then is quickly going to go up. But then what we need to do then from the 4 is get it to a 5. So, you know, I myself at the moment have yet to get a 5. I know Carla and Greg got a customer in last week, and I set them at like a private like little challenge and said, right, get yourselves a customer in this week, and they've done it. So I was hoping to get like 3 bloody business partners in before I went tomorrow. I had 3 great calls last week, but again, they've all gone into witness protection. But I'm still going to go back to them. You know, I'm still going to follow up with them. I may do it while I'm away, like while we're getting ready one night or in the morning or whatever else, but I'm not going to lose track of it, because the biggest thing for me personally that this point systems taught me really is the amount of people that I didn't follow up with. The amount of like messages and phone calls and emails and whatever else that I sent that I didn't follow up with. So what I do now is I go right back to when I started Shaper, and I just I literally go through everyone. You know, there's some people on there that I haven't spoken to for 2 months, and I'll go back in there and I'll build up a conversation. The same on LinkedIn, and sometimes the same on Facebook as well. There's people in there that I haven't spoken to for ages. But what I did find last week, there was a guy that came to me. This is the 4th time that he's come to me since I've been involved with direct sellers, and it's the 4th time he's asked for information. So never count anyone out. Like, people are watching what you're doing. And one thing that I loved about what Raz shared the other week on his training call is, with regards to his posts, is like your 4 and 1, 3 and 1, 4 and 1. So don't kind of go all in like direct sellers, but just have it there. Every so often, post something about like wine, or post something about the club, or post something about how much fun you're having. And it doesn't always have to be on Facebook. You can use LinkedIn. You can use like whatever platform that you're comfortable with to get out there and make it happen. And if you're not, you know, if you prefer getting out there and speaking to people rather than doing like social media platform sites, then do it. Because I know there are people that are not into like technology at all, or people that are not into like social media platforms. Anthony, you're not getting a daily call. That much prefer getting out there and speaking to people. So like, our target while we're away is to get someone involved, whether it's a VIP customer or whether it's a business partner. But our target before we fly home is to get someone in. So we're going to be having conversations when we're out there. We're going to be talking to people while we're out there. Might even sign my dad up. Never know. If we're at the airport coming back and we've still not got someone in, I'm just going to sign my dad up. So never stop like believing in your own ability. Like, never stop believing in yourself. Never think that you're not good enough, because you are. And I say that because there's too many people out there that try and belittle people that have got a why and a journey and a reason for doing this. And you know, Helen's video in the week was very, very powerful. And if you've not yet watched it, it's in the main group. I'd go back and watch it, because it certainly like hit a few people hard. And I spoke to her afterwards, and it's hit her really hard. But what it's done is it's made her reasons for doing this even stronger now. So, as I said, life's going to get in the way. Life is full of obstacles and hurdles and challenges that we've all got to overcome. But we've all got involved with this for a particular reason, whether it's because like we like wine, or whether it's because we love the concept of network marketing, or we love what direct sellers gives us, or it is that reason for doing it, that you don't like your current job, you don't like your current situation that you're involved in, you want that change. And I think it was Becky that spoke about it on her training call a few weeks ago, and said, look, if this is gonna be like 3 to 5 years, then let it be 3 to 5 years. Don't look at it as like months. This is a long-term commitment, and it's, I'm 17 months into this now, but only been full-time for 5. So for me, it's like still like right at the very beginning. So we're all going to grow with this, and we're all going to like become better people for it, and we're going to get knocked down more, and we're going to get rejections more than we're getting now, and we're going to get people telling us that we're stupid and that we're crazy and we're involved in a pyramid scheme and this, that and the other. But do you know what? Let them do it, because at the end of the day, they're not the ones that have got to pay our bills, and they're not the ones that are gonna help us in situations like, I don't like using this kind of word within like business or within network marketing, but this is a family. What we've got is such a tight-knit team in that UK now. There's some real good people. There's some great people that have had tough times, and that have told like tough stories, and they'll continue to get told as well. So it's just about like picking yourselves up, dusting yourselves off, and just going at it again. But going back to what I said at the very beginning, if you get to a stage where you feel that you just need a break, take a break. And I keep going on about it, but I honestly can't wait to go away tomorrow and just like chill, because I'm in that stage now. I had a very, very busy April, like out on the road a hell of a lot. And then like last week I was like knackered, absolutely knackered. I think it was two nights where I didn't go to bed until gone midnight, and I was up at 5, and then obviously like away all weekend, got back last night, and then absolutely like dead to the world. But so for me, this has come at a good time. It's come at a really good time. So if you need to book some time out. If you've got a holiday booked, enjoy it. Really do enjoy it, because I believe that this is a building block to what we can do moving forward. And if we don't all achieve what we've set out to do in this 90 days, then it's we've not failed, because we're still going to go from here to here. And if it then takes another 90 days for you to go for it again, then we'll do it. Like this is something that I want to work on continuously. So never stop believing in yourselves, never stop believing in your own abilities, and let's use this week to really get out there, to build on your own self-belief and your own self-confidence, to have those conversations with people, to use that 3-way system, and let's see what we can do. So I'm going to be working hard to try and get that business partner in, or to get that customer in, and we'll see what happens. So has anyone got anything that they want to add before we close out?
Stop procrastinating and go and get your bloody packing done.
Yeah, thanks. Can't wait. I'm hoping by the time I go downstairs. I very much doubt that. So, right.
When are you
Paul,
back,
Anthony?
I've just sorted that part. If anybody needed to know as well, if you've got a customer who wants to upgrade, you do have to ring customer services up. There's no that button in the back office is just to upgrade to VIP. So pleased to hear that customers just now upgraded to PWL for Jerry and Paul. So that's another one for them this week.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you very much for that, Anthony. Thank you for your hospitality. Actually, no, there was no hospitality on Saturday.
Cheeky.
Right, have a great week. Have a great week. As I said, like Fiona's got my link for next Monday. So Fiona, if you're about, jump on at 9, and then guys get on, do a brainstorm, come up with some ideas. Do whatever you want next week. Share your wins and share your losses and whatever else. But I will be on the Thursday team calls, Alicia this Thursday, and the next Thursday we've got John Gilbert. So I'm looking forward to that one as well. Like, John's never joined us before. And for those that don't know, John Gilbert is PJ's partner in crime. one of the owners, one of the founders. He's going to be on that one as well. Right, have a great week. Enjoy yourselves, and as I said, if you do need me, let me know. Otherwise, bug the hell out of Raz, please. So
enjoy your hollywobs.
Have a great holiday.
Have a great time.
Safe travels.
And I'll speak to you soon.
Bye.
See you later.
Thank you.